Welcome back to Apex Sci-Fi. Sun Tzu wrote that all warfare is based on deception. If you look strong, the enemy will hide. If you look fast, the enemy will lay traps. But what happens if you look weak? What happens if you look slow, broken, and disgusting? You become the perfect bait. In the lawless sectors of the Outer Rim, alien pirates prey on luxury liners and cargo haulers. They steal gold, technology, and hostages. They are fast, lethal, and arrogant. They think humans are easy prey. But the Terran Navy has a special division. A division that doesn't fly dreadnoughts or carriers. They fly ships that smell like rotting biomatter and look like drifting scrap. They are the Q ships. The trash men. And today's story is about the day the most feared pirate fleet in the galaxy tried to mug a garbage truck. If you love a good surprise party involving high explosives, smash that like button. And if you want to see bullies get exactly what they deserve, subscribe and ring the bell. Deploy the decoys. Wait for the bite. The Grim Reaver was a predator of the void. Painted in blood red and void black, the Raider-class corvette belonged to the Zygon cartel. It was fast, armed with shield-piercing plasma torpedoes, and crewed by 50 of the most vicious cutthroats in the sector. Captain Vorian sat on his command throne, picking his teeth with a vibro knife. Status, Vorian growled. Scanners are clear, Captain, the helmsman reported. No patrols. No convoys. The sector is empty. Wait. Contact. A single vessel. Drifting on sublight thrusters. It is massive. And ugly. Vorian leaned forward. Class. Scanners indicated is a Terran waste hauler. Class, sanitation barge. Designation, UNS Rusty Bucket. The crew laughed. A garbage ship. Cargo? Vorian asked. Organic waste. Recyclable plastics. Scrap metal. Value, negligible. Vorian sighed. Garbage. Why is it always garbage? Captain, the helmsman added. The ship appears to be suffering a reactor leak. It is venting plasma. Its shields are down. It is a sitting duck. Vorian considered this. The cargo was worthless. But the ship itself? The scrap metal, the engines, the crew as slaves? That had value. And pirates were nothing if not opportunistic. Intercept course, Vorian ordered. We will use it for target practice. Disable their engines. Board them. Take whatever isn't nailed down, then vent the rest. The Grim Reaver accelerated. It approached the Rusty Bucket like a shark approaching a dead whale. On the view screen, the human ship looked pathetic. It was a giant rectangle of rusted iron, surrounded by a cloud of floating debris, empty crates, frozen fluids, and unrecognizable junk. It tumbled slowly, listing to port. Hail them, Vorian said. Tell them to prepare to be boarded. The channel opened. Static hissed. A human face appeared. He was wearing a stained undershirt and a hat that said, "Fish fear me." He looked sweaty and panicked. Please, the human shouted. Don't shoot. We're just a hauler. We got a radiation leak. The toilet is backed up. We have nothing of value. Vorian smiled. The smell of fear was better than credits. Cut your engines, human, Vorian commanded. Prepare for docking. If you resist, we will vaporize you. Okay. Engines cutting. Just please don't hurt us. The Rusty Bucket's engines sputtered and died. The ship drifted helpless. The Grim Reaver moved in close. 500 meters. Point-blank range. Vorian watched the hulk loom larger in the window. He could see the rust. He could almost smell the stench through the vacuum. Shields down, Vorian ordered his own crew. Divert power to the teleporter and docking clamps. Let's make this quick. The pirate ship lowered its defenses to initiate the boarding sequence. They felt safe. After all, what could a garbage truck do? Inside the Rusty Bucket, the atmosphere was very different. Captain Fish Miller dropped the panicked act instantly. He adjusted his hat. He looked at his tactical officer, Lieutenant Sparks O'Neill. They bought it, Miller said calmly. Range? 400 meters and closing. Their shields are down, sir. They're getting ready to clamp. Hold, Miller said. Let them get closer. I want them to see the whites of our eyes. Or the rust on our hull. The Rusty Bucket was not a garbage scow. It was a Victory-class destroyer wrapped in a shell of fake hull plating. The rust was sensor-dampening paint. The radiation leak was a controlled vent of harmless gas to mask their heat signature. The floating debris around the ship? Those weren't empty crates. Those were proximity mines painted to look like trash. 300 meters, Sparks counted down. They are locking on with tractor beams. Wait for it, Miller whispered. His hand hovered over a large yellow button on his console labeled, "Take out the trash." 200 meters. They are scanning for airlocks. Now, Miller grinned. Jettison the shell. Miller slammed the button. On the outside, the rusty bucket exploded. Or at least that's what it looked like to the pirates. Explosive bolts detonated along the entire length of the hull. The rusty outer panels, tons of heavy steel, were blasted away from the ship at high speed. The cloud of garbage expanded violently outward. Captain Vorian flinched as a massive sheet of rusted metal slammed into his bridge window, cracking it. "We are under attack," the helmsman screamed. The ship, it shed its skin. From beneath the cloud of flying scrap metal, the true ship emerged. It wasn't a barge. It was a predator. Sleek gunmetal gray armor. Rows of missile tubes. Quad-link railgun turrets. The UNS Ambush, formerly the Rusty Bucket, was revealed. And its guns were already aimed. "Fire everything," Miller roared. The pirate ship was 200 meters away. Shields down. Caught in a cloud of metal debris. The human response was absolute saturation. The trash floating around the pirate ship detonated. The proximity mines blew out the pirate ship's engines. Then the ambush opened up with its main batteries. Thud thud thud. Railgun slugs tore through the pirate corvette. At this range they didn't just penetrate, they over-penetrated. They punched holes straight through the Grim Reaver, turning the pirate ship into Swiss cheese. "Shields. Raise shields." Vorian screamed, trying to stand as his ship spun wildly. "We can't," the engineer wailed. "The emitters are clogged with debris. We are taking critical damage. Hull breaches on all decks." Vorian looked out the cracked window. The helpless human was gone. In his place was a warship pouring fire into his hull. "It was a trap," Vorian whispered. "A Q ship." "Hail them," Vorian shouted. "Surrender. We surrender." "Channel open," the helmsman cried. Captain Miller's face appeared on the screen again. He was still wearing the Fish Fear Me hat. But he wasn't sweating anymore. He was smoking a cigar. "Surrender?" Miller asked, raising an eyebrow. "Sorry, buddy. I thought you wanted to board us? Come on over. The airlock is open." Miller cut the link. "Finish them," Miller ordered. Torpedoes. 2 sledgehammer, anti-ship torpedoes launched from the ambush. They crossed the short distance in a blink. They impacted the pirate ship's ammo magazine. The Grim Reaver vanished in a blinding sphere of white fire. The shockwave washed over the ambush, rattling the coffee cup on Miller's console. "Target destroyed," Sparks reported. "Debris field is expanding." Miller sighed. "Great. Now we really do look like a garbage scow. Look at all that mess. Should we clean it up, Captain?" "Nah," Miller leaned back. "Leave it. Maybe the next pirate will think it's just a wreck and come to salvage it." He tapped his headset. "Command, this is ambush. 1 bandit down. Redeploying camouflage. Sending out the drones to collect the shell plates." The crew of the ambush went to work. They retrieved the floating panels of rusty steel. They bolted them back onto the sleek warship. They sprayed simulated grime over the hull. They vented some coolant to fake a leak. Within an hour, the deadly destroyer was gone. The UNS Rusty Bucket was back. Drifting. Helpless. Smelling of ozone and rot. Waiting for the next bully to come along and try to kick the trash can. The legend of the ghost garbage truck spread through the pirate fleets. Raiders started avoiding human sanitation ships. In fact, they started avoiding any human ship that looked broken. If it looks too easy, the pirate lords warned their crews, it's a human trap. Run away. Humanity learned that in a galaxy obsessed with shiny high-tech fleets, the best camouflage is mediocrity. No one fears the janitor. No one fears the garbage man. And that is exactly why they are the most dangerous people in the room. This has been Apex Sci-Fi. Never judge a book by its cover and never judge a spaceship by its smell. If you enjoyed this trap, hit that like button. Comment below, what would you disguise your spaceship as? An ice cream truck? A pizza delivery pod? Subscribe. And remember, taking out the trash is a dirty job, but someone has to do it. Decoy deployed.